Basically doing well. There aren't any signals today, which is really unusual, but it can happen. Normally we get some things that are aligned and normally we get a few buy, a few sell, but currently at the moment there isn't anything, so it's kind of like sit on your hands really. We'll look at the indices and we'll also look at what the strongest and the weakest pairs are. So we're looking at perhaps some yen weakness up here at the top, Swiss yen, dollar yen, pound CAD. So I'd probably be wary about that pound CAD because of the politics and also the oil as well. So oil's been pumping a lot, and pound yen. However, do note on the daily, we're quite bearish on the daily. I think you could probably argue a trend and low on that pound CAD. You could potentially look for a short, perhaps wait for the small time frames to flip, but that looks to me like we're trending lower, and we could probably breach these lows, I think. So I may look at pound CAD, and we'll get the confirmation if we get the crossover as well. Weakest, we've got Euro USD, Dollar Swiss, which that's interesting, Pound, Euro Pound, and the Euro Swiss. So that would be a good contender for a sell here. So you're looking to perhaps maybe look for longs at the top, look for sells at the bottom. I'm probably not going to trade pound CAD to the long side. I'm going to wait for that small time frame to flip, then I'm going to enter. So that's likely not legit. That's probably like a dead cat bounce. So I may be looking for a sell trade on this, perhaps with a stop up here. But you can see we're probably gonna get a crossover. Oh, okay, has to think about it. So that's how you can use it. So you're looking at your big time frame, the daily. So we've got a sell here, and then we're waiting for the signal to appear on the small time frame. So let's look at your indices. We know there's no signals from the sheet, so that's fine. Strong dollar, weak Kiwi. Okay, so that's how you can look at the sentiment today. And we'll come to the indices, bring that across. I moved my mouse speed a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to navigate. How are we looking DAX? So we can make a box here, and so they'd shorted it, so we should be here. We should be above this box. Oops, God. My mouse is a little bit weird, so we should be above that, okay? And they sell it. They shouldn't really have got paid, and they did. So we should be above that grey box. $30, US 30. Let's draw a box. I think I saw US, I just saw USD. I guess you could probably argue here, couldn't you? Yes, there. Cool. It's pretty crazy. And so they eventually went so choppy, and then they sort of decided to buy here, and they added long, and by doing so it pushed price lower. Okay, so it'll be a quick video today because there's not much to talk about. If we get the crossover here, for example, this is going to be a buy, and it's likely because we're so close on the SSI and the MA. So we can draw a box here, but we'll have a box here because we'll probably get the crossover, and then it'll be a buy. But I don't know if I'll be buying the S&P. I might wait for a little bit more of a pullback, but the pound CAD could be good for a sell, just because it lines up with like UK politics and things. And you know what happened when we had Brexit. That's really hard to map. That's that one there. We'll just draw that one. Oh God, that's annoying. You kind of like wish it was a little bit clearer with the crossover. Oh, there, I guess. We'll just draw that box. That'll do. So there we go. We've got a supply. And so they'd gone long there. And you can see the reaction there. And gold. Now, I was saying in Discord that this was a raid stop scenario while you were asleep. So we had the pretty much... here it's a crossover. Well, actually, we'll just draw this box. We know that's where they've shorted it. So we can draw a box there. That one's easy. So my criticism with the FXCM is that when you put your mouse on the screen, it's actually quite, there's like sort of dotted dashed lines here. It's quite hard to see. I wish they'd make it a bit darker, but you can see if you like squint to the screen. So we should be above this box on gold. So quick video today. Any likes would be great, and we'll see how we unfold for the rest of the week. Don't forget to check your calendar, and we've also got the new Fed chair as well, so we may get some snippets from him, or at least some news bite or something like that. So be aware of that, because he's going to probably want to cut, and that's going to sedate the USD. However, his committee, his members, his staff members, are probably going to want to not cut at all. They might just prefer to just sit on their hands. So it might be a bit of a tricky one, the dollar. We'll have to wait and see how we go. And don't forget, these are normally pretty good, these boxes, but they're not infallible. They you know, they're not perfect. So we should be above this box. Doesn't necessarily mean we will. And remember, with gold, that moves to the US yields. So if the US yields are really pumping, this is going to fall regardless of the sentiment, because there's bigger fish, bigger forces at play. So trade safely. I'll speak to you guys soon.